Hello everybody and welcome to 2010. I'd like to talk about three unique trends that I'm seeing within skateboarding. And I'm going to do this over this series of 3 episodes. The first trend, of course, is the dramatic rise, the explosion if you want to call it, of longboarding. This is something that most in the mainstream skate media have completely not even looked at. They've completely dismissed it. They've ignored it, whatever you want to call it. They've marginalized it. The fact remains that one of the largest skateboard companies in the world is a longboard company. And of course, I'm talking about Sector 9. So this story isn't going anywhere. In fact, the truth remains as follows. Longboarding has basically helped so many retailers, it's not even funny. Maybe it's a dirty little secret, I don't know what you want to call it, but you cannot ignore the fact that longboards have helped keep the lights on in many skate shops. This despite having literally no presence whatsoever in any of the skate magazines. So how do you account for this? Well, the way I would look at it is the audience has spoken. And despite what people may think about longboarding, the people who try it love it and they tell friends. The word of mouth is extraordinary. One only needs to go to a website like Silverfish Longboarding to understand the passion that these people have. And I've been very fortunate to have a front row seat documenting the last 15 years of this explosion within skateboarding. My hope, my sincere hope is this, that as we head to the next 10 years, that longboarding does become firmly integrated within skateboarding, and that people just realize it's all skateboarding, which ties right back into our tagline, which is 100% skateboarding. So, where does this leave the shortboard companies? Well, as 2009 wound down, we found that a number of them are scrambling. There are an awful lot of people who bet the farm on shortboarding and felt that street would always be with us and that nothing else would rise. And unfortunately, that's not what's happened. Longboarding has brought in new customers. It's brought in a whole new flavor of skateboarding. At the same time, the shortboard market, the people who make pro decks or market what you'd call more expensive type of skateboard, have been whacked by shopboards and of course blanks. And the proliferation of people who just kind of do it themselves. And this has led to people buying 10 decks for $100 on eBay. The decks may not be that great, but they're pretty good and they fill a need. The other thing I want to let you know about is that the shortboard companies, in behind closed doors meetings obviously, have started to take notice of the Sector 9s of the world. And they have started to release what they call cruisers for this market. Now, the one thing I would say to you is that it's very difficult to be something that you're not. And so a trend that I would look for is the very same trend that works the opposite way. If a longboard company tries to market shortboards, they can wind up in a lot of different issues. And conversely, a shortboard company thinking that they can somehow start stealing market share from Sector 9, well, it can be fairly difficult to do that. So that's my take on where things are at right now. This trend will continue. Longboarding is going to keep growing. It will not slow down in 2010. And despite a really dramatic recession and the economy tanking in 2009, a number of longboard companies produced what I would consider incredible results. And that's where we are right now. The next 2 trends, well, I'll tell you about them over the next couple of days.